For almost a century, golfers have traveled here to challenge their game, commune with nature, and enrich their spirit. Year after year, they come as if summoned by some unseen power. They come to Pebble Beach. And on today's Morning Drive, Matt Janella tells you which of Pebble's glorious 18 is his hole of the week. Charlie?
All right, Damon, it's way back Wednesday, and we're going way back to 2000 to have a closer look at Tiger Woods' amazing Pebble Beach comeback. And Matt Gogol, I hope you're not watching this. Paige, down to you.
In 2018, we'll see the return of the Winter Olympics. And last year, I tried my hand at a sport to compare sweeping and swinging. You won't want to miss it. Travis?
Well, yeah, Paige, I've got a Golf Channel Academy coach in, and we're going to talk about the famous Ben Hogan grip. What do you think about that, D-Hack?
Oh, I love it, T-Fool. Morning Drive starts now. Good morning. Welcome into Morning Drive Wednesday, February the 8th, the year 2017. And as Milli Vanilli once lip-synced, blame it on the rain. Yesterday at Pebble, it rained for much of the day. That so-called Crosby weather blew through the area. Clouds expected today, rain forecast for Thursday and Friday, but always sunny inside Studio AP. Damon Hack alongside Paige McKenzie and Charlie Reimer, the big timer.
I'm happy to be back in studio. It seems like about a month that I've been on the road, but last week was out at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. I'm going to tell you what, you hear about all the attendance out there and you think, they've got to be inflating that a little bit. They're not. I mean, there's so much energy and so many people out there. It really is a blast to attend that event.
You came back just in time for my birthday. What'd you bring me?
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Paige McKenzie!
A gift card.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're one big happy family here. That's why we did a little Brady Bunch. Oh, to start the show, maybe more of that a little bit later. Happy birthday,
Thank you.
Paige McKenzie. Let's say good morning to Bailey Moser. Bailey.
Good morning, guys, and happy birthday, Paige. Hopefully some cake is in your
Yeah!
today. Ooh, yummy. All right, so we have 3 top stories for you this morning. We're going to go through them one by one, and we begin with world number 1, Lydia Ko. She has officially hired Gary Gilchrist as her new swing coach after parting ways with David Ledbetter at the end of 2016. Gilchrist also currently teaches world number 2, Araya Jutayanyagar, and has previously worked with Michelle Wie and Paula Creamer. So, is this a good move for the 19-year-old Ko? For reaction, back over to Damon.
All right, Bailey, thank you very much. As you mentioned, the world number 1 now officially working with Gary Gilchrist. Has been rumored for a couple of months after her split with David Ledbetter at the end of last year. You mentioned the resume of Gary Gilchrist, from juniors to major champions and everyone in between. So much attention to this teenage phenom. Everyone wants to know what will happen. Well, here's what Gary had to say. Excited to have Lydia join my team of pros who inspire me each and every day. Paige McKenzie, your reaction to what is now official?
Well, I don't think it's a huge surprise. We'd heard rumors that they had worked together a little bit a few weeks ago. But I think it's a great move for Lydia. Obviously, Gary has a wonderful stable of players. But the other thing that's interesting about these players is not only when you look at a Shan Shan Feng and an Araya Jutayanyagar, do they have solid, repeatable, consistent golf swings. He's also worked with a Yanni Sen that's been number 1 in the world. So he gets the mental and emotional side of coaching a player at that level. And even if you go all the way down to the list, Michelle Wie, he taught Michelle actually when he was under David Ledbetter, when Michelle was 12 to 14 years old,
right,
which is arguably one of the best times of her golf swing. Pretty swings don't always win golf tournaments, but it was certainly very pretty at that time.
Gosh, she's had a lot of change in a young career, hasn't she, Charlie?
She has. You just get the sense that she's been searching for the exact right combination. And to be fair, the work that she did with David Ledbetter really paid off. I mean, she played some phenomenal golf under David, but sometimes you just need a fresh approach. And I think with Lydia, as happens with a lot of tour players when they're looking for a coach, some players like to be coached in everything they do. They don't want to have a lot of knowledge. They sort of want to be told what to do. Others want to have all the knowledge, and they want to be the person that is absolutely calling the shots. And I think that's going to end up being the case with Gary, and maybe that wasn't the case exactly with David. But with a great teacher and a great talent like Lydia, I have no doubt that she's going to play some wonderful golf under his tutelage.
You know, I texted Gary last night just to say congratulations on this new relationship, and he said she is an amazing person with loving parents Is there any concern in your mind at all, Paige, to this union?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. First and foremost, because Lydia is very much in charge of her own game. You can go back to her rookie season where she went through 9 caddies. That may have been alarming to some people, but to me it's actually comforting because you have a player that knows exactly what they're looking for in that type of partnership. And I think she probably feels the same way as she's searching for a coach. She's gone through several people and probably tried them out and now is settled on somebody she really trusts.
But don't you think, Paige, at some point this needs to settle down just a little bit?
Without question.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the vast majority of successful professional golfers, they've had good, solid partnerships. But she's still only 19 years old, so I'm giving her a little leeway on taking some time to determine what that long-term prospect may be.
How quickly will she win another major? This year?
It wouldn't surprise me if she wins her next start. Wins a major this year. I mean, you're just when you're dealing with that much talent. She's going to figure it out. She's going to figure out how to win golf tournaments, and not only this year, but for a long time, no matter who her teacher is.
She's been good to us, that's for sure, here on Morning Drive, a delightful personality. For more on Co, let's say good morning to Travis Fulton. Travis?
Good morning. Yeah, there was an interesting conversation last night there on Golf Central as Gary Gilchrist talked to our Lisa Cornwell about the change, and I think it is going to be a good move. Gary Gilchrist, certainly a very respected teacher, especially in the women's game, and he had a couple things that I found very interesting that he said. One is he felt like they need to keep the club a little bit more in front of Lydia. That's something you hear a lot with players, keeping the club in front, whether it's going back or it's coming down on the downswing, and usually those types of comments are about synchronization and getting things to match up, improving the probability through impact. And I'll be interesting to see what they do in the backswing and downswing transition. And you saw some of the work there that Lydia did with David Ledbetter. And of course, it was very successful, as Charlie mentioned. But one of the things there is you can see the club was really kind of vertical and then it shallowed out. We did some of the segments on that and how some of those changes transpired from Lydia. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the golf club going back, how that affects the downswing to keep the club more in front of her. And I think the second thing, when you look at Gary Gilchrist, such a terrific stable of players, as Paige mentioned, did a nice job with Michelle Wee back when she was a young teenager, Yanni Seng when she was young, world #1, Arya Jatanagarde, and now the #1 player in the world, Lydia Ko, at the age of 19. I expect big things from Lydia, really a terrific player. The club will be more in front of her this year. Over to you, Bailey.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing all of those changes and her having a wonderful 2017. So moving right along with top stories to the second one. So if you want it to rain, just host a golf tournament. We know that adage all too well here at the Golf Channel. And unfortunately, it rings true for this week's PGA Tour stop at Pebble Beach. Some blustery conditions so far this week. And on Thursday for the first round, 100% chance of rain. 100%. I'm glad I'm indoors. How about you, Damon?
I am as well. Social media has its pluses and minuses. This is a plus, taking us inside the ropes to see Tony Finau at the famous 7th hole, the wind blowing 30, raining all day, a hold-off 5-iron from 106. When's the last time he hit a 5-iron? Was he 8 years old from 106 yards? Unbelievable. That weather, that Crosby weather, but he still had a good time. Great day out there with a fun group. How about J.B. Holmes? 105 yards is a long way. Apparently, he had a 6-iron, Charlie.
You know, you used to hear stories about the old-timers getting up on number 6 on a day like this, number 7 a day like this, and putting it down the cart path.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do that anymore, but that'd be pretty cool to just run one down the cart path.
Absolutely. This is such a fun week. We love it. The people, on the East Coast, maybe braving winter, love seeing. Eventually, the sun will shine Saturday and Sunday. But what's the #1 storyline, Paige, in your mind this week at Pebble?
#1 storyline is #1 player in the world. That's Jason Day. He's back in action. We've only seen him 2 other times this season. Took quite a bit of time off due to injury through the fall. And then we saw him at SBS where he had a good finish at 12th. And then a missed cut at Farmers, which really didn't get any attention because we were focused, of course, on the missed cut of Tiger Woods. So I'm anxious to see him back in action and see how he does with his body and also with his golf swing.
How about you, man?
I think you and I might see eye to eye on this. Phil Mickelson, he is so due to win a golf tournament. It's shocking that he hasn't won since the 2013 Open Championship. He's got 38 top 25s in the interim, including last week. In his last 4 starts on the PGA Tour, he's got top 25 finishes. I thought he was going to get it done on Sunday. In fact, he went out on Sunday at Phoenix and he shot 4 under on the front 9 and sort of got in the mix, and I think he just pushed too hard coming in. He shot 4 over coming in, but lefty, he was going for it. But He is so due to win. I had a chance to talk with him a little bit before the third round last week up on the practice tee there at Phoenix, and you could see it in his eyes, Damon. He's having fun playing. He's interested in what he's doing. He is very engaged, and I asked him how he's swinging the golf club. He said pretty darn good right now. I think he's just so close to breaking through and getting back to his winning ways, and I think it would be a huge story if he won, especially at Pebble Beach where he's already won 4 times.
It'd be his 5th time, Marco Mira. He's such an optimist. I mean, he hasn't won since 2013, as you're mentioning, but you would know that by speaking to him. Yeah. I talked to him at the Scottish Open last year. He was so enthusiastic about his game and so excited. He walks onto every driving range as if he owns the place at 46 years of age. That is a rare quality.
He's having fun, Paige, which is really cool.
And let's not forget that he had a putt to get in a playoff last year here. Like, this is a place, not only has he won multiple times, he almost won last year. So I'm sure he's going to try to redeem that this season.
A lot of pros, also a lot of celebrities in the field this week at Pebble Beach. Yesterday, Chantel McCabe, I should say, spoke to the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, and asked Aaron, hey, how much golf have you been playing lately?
I braved the elements this morning. I played 18 holes. Other than that, I played 9 holes since August. So when the season starts, I put the clubs away. I'm all ball. And because we made it, pretty far in the playoffs this year, didn't have a lot of time and went on vacation. So I'm just, I'm winging it out there. I'm relying on muscle memory and a little bit of athleticism, I think.
You've gotten to play with a long list of pretty cool people, including former President Barack Obama. I heard that round was actually pretty good for both of you. What was the highlight of it?
I got to ride with him the last 9 holes. Fantastic. It's one of those bucket list type experiences that you don't expect to ever happen. To play with the sitting president and to get to spend 9 holes with him was just amazing. I mean, his phone was in his pocket the entire time. It's just him and I. Being able to walk and drive from hole to hole with the leader of the free world is an experience you will never forget. And I'm so thankful to be able to have done that, and that I played halfway decent, but he's a stick as well, and it was a lot of fun.
Such a terrific week on the PGA Tour. Pebble Beach, great field, and some notable celebrities this week. We got to watch these guys play some golf as well. And there is Aaron Rodgers working on his golf game, Justin Timberlake, Bill Belichick in the field, Super Bowl champion. And look at their third one down, Peyton Manning, been retired for about a year now. And I'm wondering if Peyton has had some time to play some golf and work on that golf swing. And we're going to take a look at it right here, one of the best of all time. Quarterback champion for the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. And you can see here Peyton Manning at address here. Very strong left-hand grip. You can probably see about 3 knuckles there on the left hand. Left hand's kind of cranked way over. Usually when you get a strong left-hand grip, that club face will be a little bit more shut. I think Peyton likes to hit it from the inside and hit that little draw. So very good grip, good tilt in the spine. A lot of good stuff here, Peyton, at address. Now let's take it to the top of the swing. And it's always fun to look at athletes in how they swing the club. I've got a box here and a line. As we go up to the top of the swing, I want to show you something that I see a lot with athletes here. I've got this line, a little bit of space in here from the left hip, got his head here still in the box. Now I want you to watch something here. Watch how this lead hip shifts towards the post, but his head stays in the box. So here we go. We're going to roll it. Boom. That's an athletic move right there. They can differentiate between their upper and lower body. So the lower body goes this way, but they stabilize right there. They don't go everything this way or everything hangs back. So that's an athlete right there. You shift weight left, you stabilize with the upper body, and then from there you turn through. I got 2 things for you, Peyton. Number 1, move the ball a little bit more forward at address, and then from there, once you go lateral, go ahead and start to push up now a little bit. Get a little more rotational through impact, and I think that'll help stabilize that ball flight. Over to you, Beta. Ready for this? Omaha, it's coming to you with the football.
Yeah, I wish. We tried to get our producers to have Travis throw me the ball, because what could possibly go wrong? They wouldn't go for it. Last up, third on our list of top stories, the PGA Tour champions, they are back in action this week at the Allianz Championship in Boca Raton, Florida. And defending champion Esteban Toledo, he's in the field and he will be on our air later this morning, joining us live with his game plan to make it back-to-back victories. So for more on those who might challenge him, Damon, back over to you.
Love it, Bailey. Thank you very much. The Allianz down in Boca Raton, Florida. Charlie, you got a lot of buddies down on the PGA Tour champions. What's your big storyline?
I do. You know you're getting old when you got more buddies on PGA Tour champions than on the regular tour. But, you know, I look at David Toms. I spent some time with David about a year ago, and he's in great shape. He's hungry. He wants to get out and play. The only thing that might hold him back a little bit is duck season. You know, he's a big duck hunter, and that's the only thing that might hold him back. But he's done a great job of maintaining his skills. And David is one of the best drivers of the golf ball on the planet. He's going to put it in play. If he can make some putts, I see him not only winning in his rookie season, but multiple times. David opened at Hualalai with a tie for fourth. He shot 69-64. Okay, remember that was a weather-shortened event. So I think he might have, if that tournament got a little bit deeper, he might have been a little bit bigger factor. But I certainly see him being a factor this week and throughout this season on PGA Tour champions.
Also looking forward to seeing him tonight on Golf Channel Academy, 7 p.m. short game special. How about you, Paige?
Well, I'm from Washington State, so of course I have a soft place in my heart for Fred Couples, and he was back in action. Unfortunately, had taken so much time off last season. In fact, only 2 starts in the last 11 months. But that back in action at Hualalai that you were mentioning, Charlie, rain shortened but finished runner-up. So I'm anxious to see where he's at with not only his golf game, but with his health, because I think we'd all like to see him playing a lot more.
Absolutely, one of the veterans out there. I love it that year after year we get this new slate of 50-year-olds coming out. How about Jose Maria Olazabal, 2-time Masters champ? Speaking of back injuries, he's dealt with his own back and foot ailments throughout his year. One of the great iron players, maybe in the history of the game. Tiger Woods famously would like to watch Jose hit balls on the driving range. One of the most graceful players that have played golf. Don't you agree, Charlie?
Yes, certainly very well liked and respected. The recent ailments have included rheumatoid arthritis. So hopefully that's behind him. He's healthy and can play a nice full season.
All right, guys, you know what? It's time to get social. Let's send it back over to Bailey.
Thank you, Damon. Yes, so we put out a social media question for today. We wanted to know, have you ever played Pebble Beach golf links? And if you've been so fortunate to, we want to see your photos because we know you have taken so many of them. There are such beautiful views out there. So on Facebook, Twitter, whatever your social media choice of medium is, get on there, send us your photos, and we will unveil them throughout the show. Damon, back over to you.
All right, Bailey, so much to do here. Get your rain jacket out, maybe a little cocoa, at least for the next couple of days. The sun will come out on Saturday along the Monterey Peninsula. And Morning Drive rolling along on a Wednesday. We're back after this.
What's the difference between cocoa and hot chocolate?
That's a great question.
With marshmallows?
Cocoa, chocolate, whipped cream for sure. Yeah.
Heads up, heads up, heads up.
Oh, gosh.